Okay, hey guys, welcome to Matilda's video. I'm gonna try to keep this one short, unlike the Pichu ones, which are like 40 minutes and an hour or something. So yeah, let's go. Let's get to it. First off is Arm Cannon, and I think Arm Cannon has some potential, but it can only really be used by really good players because it requires you to aim really well. And like, yeah, that's pretty much it. The I think if people started learning it more, it would be so broken. Like, if everyone started using it, I'd hate it. But right now, it's like me, Sprite, and I can't think of anyone else. So yeah, I think it's A tier. Next up is Baltura. I know some people hate this weapon, but it's really not that good. You can place it like 10 times before you run out of bricks. Right? It has a cooldown for placing. It does 20 damage. I think Poly made the AI weaker because it doesn't hit me as often as it used to. Maybe I'm much better. I think it's C tier. It's barely usable. It's banned for tourneys because you're not really fighting with it. But even if it was unbanned, I don't think that many people would use it. Okay, so next is Bloomerang. Bloomerang. It's good. It just doesn't do enough damage. Like for duels, for example, this is definitely like C tier. But for like just in general playing, I think it's A tier because it's the mobility gives you you like even in duels it's slightly good because sometimes you can use the like especially if you combo with like coconut or something or like a spammy rocket like I don't know if you still use Hoss Hog, right? You can get the height advantage and it's easy to hit shots from above. People aren't really expecting it. Yeah, I guess I'll put it in beta. So next is Bombardier or Star, and they did this guy dirty, man. Star used to be so broken, it'd be like S plus, right? Right now, it's horrible. Some people still hate it for some reason, even though it does like 10 damage up close and like 90 even if you shoot it from far away. So like, it doesn't do good at anything. At least it has a high blast radius, but then, do you know what else has a high blast radius? Fucking, what is it? Shadow Dragon, right? It's literally pointless right now. I think it's C or D tier. I don't. Just put it in C tier for now. It's not quite D tier. You'll see what's D tier soon. Bomb. Just it's regular. Nothing to it. I can't really rank it above C tier because it's so average at everything. Yeah. Boomerang. Okay, so this is an interesting one. Nobody used to use this, even though it was, I think, better than before. Probably kind of nerfed it. He upped the damage but increased the cooldown. Now it does 60 damage if you hit both boomerangs every 4 seconds. So, and the main thing I guess is that it's easy to hit, right? You do 30 damage basically every time you hit it, but you don't get the kill like Coconut. If you hit a Coconut, that's pretty much him dead, right? But so many people are using it now just because it's like if you don't want to use Super Ball or Coconut or whatever, you use this and you're solid. You're set. Yeah, you can't really go wrong with boomerang. I think S tier actually, to be honest, it's kind of broken right now. Probably should nerf it to like 25 damage a hit or something. Okay, bow would be A tier, and that's because bow, even though no one really uses it right now, I feel like it's because it's new, and once people start using it, it's gonna start becoming a really really annoying weapon, like real fucking fast. I just the second bow becomes like meta, I'm gonna hate meta so much just because it's pretty easy to hit. It does 50 damage, and it's like every 4 seconds, right? And yeah, I mean that's the weapon. Yeah, it's it. Brick Breaker, D tier, literally worst frying pan. Nothing going for it. Bridge Shovel, also D tier. Just why does this exist? Enough said. Hate Shovel, um, B tier. Some people would think it's higher, but I think it's lower because even if you trap somebody, if they have a Shadow Clone, they're out. If they have a Rocket up, they're out. If they have uh, even a remote sometimes, you can be fast enough. I do this thing where I Shadow Clone out when the enemy lunges into it, and that's 35 health gone off them. Simple, right? Easy. But if you really, really spam it, you can use it for mobility, you can use it for trapping. Like if you keep if you have good trapping aim and you keep trapping them no matter what, it's great, right? You can just keep on trapping them, and they ran out of Shadow Clone, whatever. Yeah, actually, it might put it in A. It has potential a lot. Coconut, easy S tier, 30 damage every 2 seconds if you hit shots. Ragdolls for like 2 seconds as well. If you're ragdolled, you're either dead at 10 HP by the end of it, or like uh well, if your opponent ragdolls you into like a useless corner, I guess you'll survive, but that's rare. Like if you fight against someone like Pedro, it's impossible to play against. But yeah, anyway. Crystal Blaster, S tier, super spammable. Nobody uses it because they get dissed and they get everyone hates them for it. But if people did start using it, I think it'd be really good because even though its blast radius is slightly low, and like I know the range thing, obviously, but you don't really need range, especially in 1v1s. It's kind of most of the time you're in range for a crystal. Sometimes it does like 70 damage, which kind of sucks, but it's still really good. The 5 second or 4 second cooldown, whatever, just broken. Dark Heart, put in a solid C tier. I think it's just the worst stock right now. I'm talking about duels here and normals, like just regular games. I think it's pretty good. But like compared to stock, it just slower swing speed and just you know less lunge. Just yeah, just worse overall. Like the things you could be doing with that 1 second, because this has 4 second lunge cooldown compared to 3 seconds on stock sword. The things you could be doing with that is a lot, and the health isn't even that good. It gives a bit back. I guess you win trades if you lunge into them, but most fights are coconut based now, or like boomerang, whatever. So you rarely get lunging. Okay, well, anyway. Fire sword, B tier. Actually, C tier. People think it's good. I think it just use your Super Bowl on them if they're using Fire Sword. What are they gonna do about it, right? They don't really have mobility. That's a main problem of non-lunge weapons. And yeah, that's it. They just don't have mobility. They can do as much damage as you want. But what are they gonna do if you just stay back, use your boomerang, use your coconut, even use your rocket? Maybe if you have an arm cannon, just spam it at them. Yeah. Great sword. I think it's A tier right now only because of Great Sword Clone, where you just do 60 damage for free. And that's just such a good combo that it carries the weapon really, really hard. And yeah, I think that it has decent mobility and you can do some interesting dodges with the spin. I personally can't use it because I just find it really hard to land the spin. I tried, but I mean, it's a fun weapon in my opinion. Especially like if you use lunge enough, you like start appreciating non-lunge weapons, I guess. So home run next, COD. I think home run is horrible. Just some people think that like the batter like remote whatever, where you like fly and hit the midair, that's good, but so rare, such a niche case. Usually people just charge up in front of me. I wait for them to finish the swing and then just finish them off. But that's usually noobs, so I imagine better players don't do that. But even if they like tried to land home runs on me, as long as you have some common sense, I don't think you can get really hit by it. Like maybe you get hit by it once in a duel or something. That's pretty much it. Hot. Also, I need to like put some of these in. I think Dark Heart should be actually, yeah. Hosog, it's just it's nothing, right? It has nothing going for it right now. Hosog is just an empty shell. It has no mobility. If you try to rocket jump with it, that's 50 damage on you. That's like, what are you doing, man? That's like what, half a Super Bowl of damage. It adds up, you know. And if you're low, especially, that's gonna kill you, right? And I don't know about the damage right now. I'm pretty sure it does in one shot. And yeah, just use a different rocket, man. I guess the reload's good, but then use crystal. I don't know. It doesn't have a purpose. Ice sword, detail, just a worse fire sword, literally. The chilling whatever thing is, I believe it's slower. It's hard to hit as well, in my opinion. It's just like, why use this weapon? Especially if you can use fire sword like tennis racket. similar weapons, right? Just don't. Just keep out of it. Laser cannon, right now, S tier, probably second best rocket compared to Crystal. Um, really high jump, really high damage. If you miss one, you still get 70 damage. Sometimes you can blow them away. Sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's good. Even if you miss, you do like 20 from the blast radius. Or 40, I guess, if both your shots do blast radius. Just overall solid weapon in every department, to be honest. It's kind of broken right now, in my opinion, although the rockets are kind of slacking. Lava Ball, I know it doesn't deserve D tier, but don't see anyone using it. All the other balls outshine it so hard. It's super slow, doesn't do enough damage. It's just horrible. Nothing else. Paintball gun, also horrible. I know some people like spam it or whatever to like stop regen, but it just doesn't work. You can always reflect on block of a if you don't have shadow clone, block of a trouble. Just if they have a paintball gun, I'd recommend just pushing with your boomerang or coconut playing aggressive because they don't they don't have that advantage of just having like a 30 damage boomerang, right? They need to spam and keep long range, so just push at them and you should win. Remote detonator, definite S tier, best bomb. Just you can use it for anything, mobility, one shots, midair like jumps, right? It's just so much better than every other bomb right now that it's not even comparison. Stock it, B tier, solid everywhere, nothing else to say. Rockstar, C tier. The ability's kind of weak right now. You can't really use it for anything. The range of it is too small to do anything with it. The rocket that shot is obviously too slow. I think if the rocket that was shot is faster, then you could have some interesting combos of like, you use the power cord and then you insta rocket them, right? And then if they don't expect it, that's well not insta once the end line ends. But if they don't expect, that's a free kill, right? But because the rocket's so slow, it doesn't help anything. At least the rocket jump's nice. Scope shot, right now, B tier. It's niche. Like, you have to have good aim and know when to use it. Because if you get reflected, that's you dead. But if you don't, that's him dead, right? You just have to hit it. That's pretty much it. That's the whole weapon. Hit it. If you can hit them, it's good. If you can't, it's bad. Shadow Blade, solid S tier, to be honest. It's just 50 damage, 4-second cooldown. Fast swing speed, so you keep in the air like longer. Just yeah, it's banned in tourneys right now, which I don't think is fair, but that's another topic. Um, Solid, good overall. Well, it's S tier, so it's not just solid; it's great, right? But yeah, just a good sword. Shadow Bomb, D tier, useless. Just use a different bomb. The invisibility barely works unless you're in first person like me or blind like me as well. But even then, most of the time I can see it. It's just kind of useless. You can't plant it either as well. Either as well, I don't make sense. Shadow Clone, S tier, just mobility, damage, defense. You can use it for anything. I think it's the best designed like weapon that Poly ever made because it can be used for anything, but they don't come like intuitively, right? You can play aggressive with it. You can play defensive by like trying to use the clone, like them lunging into you and then cloning away, right? You can use it for saving yourself from void, just mobility in general, anything. It's great. I love it. Shadow Dragon, A tier. Big splash radius, big burn. Actually, put it on the same as Stalker, right? They're the kind of same thing. Shadow Dragon has slightly longer reload, right? But the burn really kind of helps you, especially if you miss. I believe you do like 40 damage straight up on 10 burn. And burn is better than normal damage because they don't regen, you know? And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's sad that they did the jump like that, though. The jump used to be really good for it, but then they nerfed it. Okay, Shadow Shuriken, B tier right now. Use Coconut. Just use Coconut, man. I guess the arc is a bit like straightforward, but I believe the hitbox is smaller for hitting it, so just use Coconut, okay? Slingshot, D tier right now. I think it's useless. It used to be decent, Now, I haven't tried it actually, but I believe it's D tier. Like, I used to use it so much, I even have a sticker patch, as you can see, but just bad right now. What can I say? Snowball. I have no idea. Haven't seen it. Don't use it. I believe the reload's pretty fast, but that's if you hit your shots. Shield is pretty useless though. People can just rock and jump away from it. Yeah, I don't really know. Spike Trouble, Atheia right now. Um, if you fight against a good Spike Trouble opponent, you're gonna get destroyed, right? No matter where you step, you're just gonna 25 damage, 25 damage, 25 damage, right? Every single fucking second. It's so annoying. But if you fight against a bad one, they're just gonna miss everyone. Like when I tried it, I could not hit a single one, and that's just me being bad with it. But like, yeah, if you learn it, it can be so good. Better than Shadow Clone actually if you learn it. But since people aren't quite catching on to it, yeah, I'm just gonna keep an 8 here until people learn how to use it, and I believe that's gonna be soon, to be honest. Square Bomb, C tier, nothing to say about it. It's just a better bomb, I guess, but not better enough to be in B tier. Sticky Bomb, A tier, no B tier. B tier because it supports things like Spiky and Cage, or if you really want to play a lot with your Shadow, like a Greatsword Shadow thing, maybe. If you just want to spam the hell out of these, you take a sticky, you just throw it every time the cooldown's off, and that's 300 bricks duel or whatever. I don't really know how much they get, but it's an estimate, right? And it allows you just to spam the hell out of these. Simple, long range, better than remote at collecting bricks, in my opinion. But, still remote's better for literally everything else, but, whatever. Super Bowl, A tier? It's just a worse coconut right now. The real is pretty much the same, just a worse coconut. It has different arc though, so if you want that, I guess you use it. It's whatever. Stock Sword, S tier, 3 second lunge, just simple. Like lunge is overpowered. What can I say? Tennis Racket, B tier. It's good for spamming, especially if you're playing against worse players. They could just, mouse one that, and that's you. Just you're not approaching that, and this unless you use coconut, I guess you can just yeet them away, right? But with boomerang, you need to. If you don't hit your shot, then like, what are you gonna do? Rocket them? They're just gonna reflect. Lunge? Not happening, right? So yeah, you need to use your Super Bowl well against this. That's pretty much it. The special ability though is kind of useless because it can be reflected. I guess. I guess that's the whole point, but it's just there. Whatever. Trampoline, C tier. Just stall with it, I guess. Not good for duels. Maybe for normals. I always like to have a trampoline sun death, but I don't like to be the one that, is exchanging it for clone. Um, just like it's whatever. Like it doesn't really do anything. I mean, like in duels, I mean. Yeah. Why is frying pan here? I don't know, but I'll just rank it now then. Frying pan, C tier, just better brick baker, but still not good enough. I believe the hitbox for the like smash ability is smaller than the actual auto, like when you normally attack somebody. So that kind of sucks, I guess. But whatever. Probably should get onto that, make it a bit wider. Just rework the weapon. It's not really working right now as a concept. That's probably because lunge is OP, but yeah. Trouble, CT as well. I know it kind of sucks because now there's 2 rows, but whatever. Trouble right now is just actually, B tier because it's kind of good for like saving yourself from void. It only costs 1 brick, but most of the time when people use trouble, it kind of helps me more than the enemy because I can use it as like cover, especially with like a coconut against a coconut. I mean, um, yeah, it doesn't really help them most of the time, except for saving yourself from void. But then you can just use shadow clone. So like, what's the point? Trust Trouble, BT as well. I know some people disagree, think it's really good, but it's actually just trouble, but you can climb on it. Not much to it. Vox Caliber, D tier, useless right now. Just use regular sword. Like, what are you gonna do with that lunge? What are you doing? What's the point of doing 30 damage basic attack if you're doing 25 with a tiny, tiny lunge, right? Yeah, it's just kind of useless right now. Okay. That's everything ranked. So yeah. Thanks for watching. I guess, see ya.